distribute across the board. We have low-income housing, poverty, hunger and food, and homelessness. And I want to preface this actually with the fact that a more comprehensive, full data set is going to be put together and released on this. So this is just a summary. So if you have questions about more specifics or brought up in responses. So I'm not going to read them out because we'd be here for a while. But I just kind of wanted to give an overview that they would like to see happen. So these are around housing, so calls for comprehensive rent controls and an end to vacancy decontrol, urgency in creating a real affordable housing program, emphasis on building more nonprofit and rent-geared-to-income housing, and concerns about the impact of changes to zoning and plan regulations on agricultural lands. Poverty reduction, concerns about inadequate social assistance rates, calls to raise social assistance rates, and emphasis on poverty reduction through annual guaranteed income. Healthcare, opposition to the privatization of healthcare, calls to stop the privatization of healthcare and build more hospitals, especially in regions today. We'll filled out the survey, so issues on government accountability and legislative changes, environmental conservation, summary of the responses that we got, and again, a full report will be released shortly as we gather. And Southwestern Ontario, and again, that breakdown, I wish I could tell you exactly what poverty reduction advocacy for the past decade. Tom is one of the co-founders of the Ontario Living Wage Network, as well as the Hamilton Alliance for Tiny Shelters. Tom brings an understanding of income security, food security, and housing challenges faced by low-income community members, and has connected people with lived experience of poverty through collaborative partnerships with governments, nonprofits, and many other communities. He is passionate about basic income, having been involved in the World of Project in Hamilton. Tom is a graduate of McMaster University and holds a certificate in public policy analysis from the London School of Economics. He is also a continuing education instructor at Mohawk College. Welcome, Tom.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here this morning. We're united in a common purpose, the pursuit of a more just and compassionate society. And today I want to share some thoughts with you on the crucial intersection of faith, human rights, and the imperative for embracing faith as a means to uplift vulnerability and advance social justice. I believe this because I've seen it in action. I've seen it transform lives. And I've seen the short but crucial potential of what I believe will be the most important social policy of the 21st century. Government broke an election promise and canceled the Ontario Basic Income Pilot. The pilot, which was conceived by the Kathleen Wynne Liberal government, was a crucial social policy test. Could providing a cash transfer to low-income Ontarians help improve health, support mental well-being, move people into the jobs of the future, and enable people to maintain affordable housing? It was a really important question. Participants came from three communities, generally, from Hamilton, Brantford, from Thunder Bay, and from the town of Lindsay. And they were chosen randomly for part-time jobs, trying to cobble together enough hours to make ends meet. They were part of our province's working poor, and the basic incomes doubled incomes overnight for many of those individuals. Receiving a basic income was a transformational experience for almost all of those who signed up. Participants reported reduced stress and anxiety about meeting their basic needs, death, trouble with the law, drug overdoses, and children who do not do well in school. All of this costs our society billions, yet we do not act. In the past 50 years, we have protected seniors with the guaranteed income supplement and children from poor homes with the child credit. removing thousands from the risk of poverty. But for the millions of working age folks beneath the poverty line, it's not enough. It is completely incomprehensible. This words were spoken earlier this year by the Honorable Hugh Sewell, Canada's most prominent basic income supporter, who died just a few months ago. We know basic income is also fiscal. The basic income was provided a significant injection into local economies of the communities in which it was tried. One of the reasons the chambers of commerce in all those places supported and encouraged it. Surveys of pilot participants in Hamilton found that in addition to improvements in food security and health, social relationships improved, housing was stabilized. 85% of respondents found it easier to purchase necessary items for their homes, reducing their risk of homelessness. Less than a year after the basic income pilot ended, COVID-19 became a global pandemic. Workplaces million Canadians who took part. Canadians who had lost income during the pandemic. Like the Ontario Basic Experience, CERB enabled recipients to meet necessities and pay for rent or the mortgage. It provided an economic lifeline. CERB, of course, ended in December 2021, but the ongoing need for basic income has never been more acute. Conclusion. What would basic income have brought for participants in the long term? How would conversations about unaffordability and the homelessness crisis be different? How many more people could have remained housed? What kind of communities would we be living in today? We know basic income has changed lives where it's been tested. Diets were healthier for 86% of participants. And participants could purchase clothing and household supplies so that they could stay housed. The list goes on. Most important in that report, though, were the words of the former pilot participants themselves, many of whom found a new sense of purpose when receiving a basic income. By having a financial foundation, I didn't feel embarrassed. I'm a grandmother of 6. To sit there at Christmas time with my family and not be able to afford a decent gift is embarrassing. Last year was the best Christmas of the last 10 years. The principle of equal worth becomes tangible expression of this commitment to dignity. It's why I continue to be so passionate about the possibility of national security. That report lays out an exceptionally clear framework for implementing a permanent or minimum 5-year-long province-wide demonstration project. This would serve to showcase basic income's efficacy and allow for the opportunity to iron out the kinks arising from its implementation. The proposal is practical and it's affordable, and I hope it will make waves. In our sacred texts, we find a recurring theme, the call to care for the vulnerable and marginalized. Basic income as a compassionate safety net becomes a reflection of our duty to shield the most vulnerable from the storms of poverty and want. It's an embodiment of our shared responsibility to care for one another. Thank you.
So, Tom, thank you for your broad knowledge and deep understanding of this complex problem and a real solution to the problem. Later on, we'll be able to ask questions.
And if you guys don't think this is a solution, then I don't know what's going to help you guys.
Introduction to basic income. Thank you. So I'm now pleased.
Here's a solution because you told me to go up the river. I went up the river.
Is the executive director and a lawyer.
And the same time the light shine is exactly where my feet's supposed to guide me. So I love to listen to only one person to listen to. and I
before
follow
various
His commandment, and He leads me where I need to be,
as well as before the
telling
Superior
me to go
Court
to the
of
government
Justice.
official and speak to them.
Before working in
For
the
I just
legal
spoke
clinic
with
system,
Jack Yun Ching,
Shannon
and I
was a
told him,
litigation lawyer
my hope
in
is
private
in
practice.
Him.
And Shannon
There's a
was
reason why I'm
co-counsel on the
choosing
regional
Him to be a
municipality
leader,
of Waterloo versus
as
Persons
this
Unknown
is
and US
assembly.
Ascertain
For the
223,
greatest assembly
where
is
Waterloo
now.
Region Community Legal Services was
For I am
successful
who
in
I am,
arguing that a proposed
the Most
encampment
High,
eviction
Saint God.
violated the S7 Charter.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you very much for the opportunity to be here to talk about the impact and the aftermath. So just to set the scene, the clinic, the legal clinic that I work at in Waterloo Region is a mid-sized clinic. We have approximately 16 staff, including 5 lawyers and 3 paralegals, an Indigenous justice coordinator, social worker, and staff. So in the summer of 2022, we were already out in the community working with people who were living at the encampment in Victoria and youth living in poverty have basic legal needs. So at the time, before the case started, we were helping people get their ID. We were connecting people with family doctors so that they could do the application for Ontario Disability Support Benefits. That's what we in the encampment.
So you wonder why Ontario doesn't have ID, and this is a big barrier. If you have no ID, you cannot get a job, much less a vehicle to get to your job site. This holds back people from getting forward. I'm just saying, people, I'm here to reveal the truth, so learn quick.
And my initial thought was, there's no way we're going to get involved in this. This is like, we're already